Hi guys, I'm here today with a review of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Volume 1. And it's actually a collection of 3 stories written by 3 different authors. And I'm a huge Buffy fan. I've watched, the entire season, the entire series. I was obsessed with it back in high school. That's when it started. And I still watch it in reruns. I love fan fiction, fan art, everything. I'm like a huge Buffy nerd. So I was kind of excited when I saw this book. I didn't know that there were Buffy books, or these kind. I knew that there was like some connected with the series or something. I don't know what that is. But anyway, I didn't know that these were out. I just happened to see them at Borders, I think, when I was shopping at the sale. And so I decided to look at the library and get one, and I have to say I was pretty disappointed. Okay, well, let's do the overview of the stories. The first story is Coyote Moon, written by John Vornholt, and this is, this one covers that there's a traveling carnival that comes to Sunnydale, and, by coincidence or not, there's also a pack of coyotes that shows up, and is kind of terrorizing Sunnydale and the citizens and stuff like that. And so Buffy's investigating that, and, they're all hanging out at the carnival and meeting the carnies and stuff. So, yeah. And this story I thought was the one that could have most been an episode, but I also thought it was the worst writing. It really felt like not bad, but not a good fan fiction. Like, I thought the writing was really, I think it was trying really hard to sound like the characters, because you know how they had that way of speaking. And so I think it was trying really hard to sound like them, but it just came off sounding so cheesy and just really bad. And so I hated that. But because if you're a fan of Buffy, because it's characters that you know so well, you kind of get used to it, you get in the flow of things, and I just went with it. And I did like the story in the end. I thought it was really interesting and moved quickly. So there was good and bad parts of that one. The second story is Night of the Living Rerun by Arthur Byron Cover. And in this one, Buffy, Giles, and Xander each separately start having dreams in which they are a historical, or a person in the past, living during the Salem witch trials. And so each one is seen through the eyes of a specific person. And throughout the story, you find out that history is kind of repeating itself, and all the events from the Salem witch trials are happening again, and there's ghosts and possessions and that kind of thing. And this one, the writing was better. The story was interesting. It wasn't my favorite. I liked bits of it. It moved kind of slow for me. And the writing, the story wasn't as Buffy-ish. Like, you couldn't see it as an episode necessarily, because it kind of was longer and more drawn out and serious, but it was okay. Yeah, they're zombies. It's always fun. And then the last one is Portal Through Time by Alice Henderson. And this story I actually liked a lot. This was about the Master. Do you remember the Master? Well, one of his little lackeys, Lucian, decides to try and go back in time to change the way the time works so the Master won't be defeated by Buffy. And so he starts off trying to kill Buffy in the past, but that doesn't work out the way he wanted. So he ends up having to go way in the past and is trying to kill off previous Slayers to change the whole timeline so that Buffy won't even become a Slayer. And the gang finds out about this, and they go back. And so the story takes you through to 4 different times in the past. And it was really cool. It was a really cool story. I liked meeting different Slayers, different time periods, and you just kind of get to see them, like, how they deal with going in the past. Of course, Giles is super excited because he gets to see all this history in action, and Buffy's all about just finding the Slayers and killing the vampires, and Xander freaks out because he's Xander, and it was really good. Very long, I thought, for like a short story, I guess, if it was supposed to be, but it was kind of long. The beginning I thought was boring, but once I got into the time travel, it was really cool. And yeah, that's kind of the overview of the 3. I think if you're a fan of Buffy, you will like this book, because, you might have to get past the writing if you thought some of it was as bad as I did, but it's familiar characters, so you just, kind of jump right into how you feel about them and how you know them. the stories are all written kind of in the beginning of the Buffyverse, so she hasn't been a vampire slayer very long. She's just kind of met Angel. Her and Giles are still in that beginning Watcher-Slayer kind of relationship. Everyone's not like so family as they were in the end. So it's kind of hard getting back to that thought process of everything being kind of new when you've gone through so much with these characters. And kind of in that vein, I felt like there wasn't enough background for people who weren't Buffy fans. Like, you don't really get a whole lot of info on them. But if you are a Buffy fan, there's almost too much because you know and it's taking you too far back. So it's just kind of a weird middle ground. But overall, I think it's worth reading if you want more Buffy because, you know, there's nothing new on TV, obviously, for years. But, I mean, so if you want something new, some more stories with the gang, the Scoobies, it's worth reading. I think there are a couple more volumes at least. I'll probably check those out and see what's going on, but, you know, it's Buffy, so I'm willing to take some bad writing and stuff. And I guess that's it. Leave me comments, let me know who's your favorite. Who's your favorite in Buffy? I am definitely a Spike girl. I love Spike. And, yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.